Alexander Usyk. What a performance. What an absolutely brilliant performance by Usyk against a great champion in Anthony Joshua. And let me say this, and I'll drop a separate video about Anthony Joshua. I don't like some of the backlash and hate he's receiving after this loss. You know, and I've been critical of Anthony Joshua as a fighter as far as some of his flaws, the chin, him being robotic, and a lot of that showed against Usyk. But one thing we cannot question is his heart and that he behaves like a champion. And we need more of that in boxing. We need more people like Anthony Joshua in boxing. We need more fighters like Anthony Joshua in boxing who behave like fighters, who fight top guys, and even if they're flawed, they still go for greatness. And that's all I can ask for as a boxing fan. I don't demand greatness on this channel. What I demand as a fan is fighters to go for greatness. And we have very little of that in this sport. Fighters who strive for greatness. And when you strive for greatness, when you attempt to truly do special and great things, your flaws show up because more hurdles are going to be there. The strength of schedule is going to be tougher. You're going to face more resistance from greater fighters. And especially here in America, we have too many American fighters, especially. Let's speak about the American fighters real quick, who are too comfortable with fighting once a year against average opposition and saying, oh, I'm doing great things. No, you're not. Behave like Anthony Joshua as a champion. But let's speak about Usyk, because this was Usyk's night. What a performance. And I remember when this fight was signed, when Joshua versus Fury fell through, and Joshua versus Usyk came to be, I said, Joshua better be careful here. This is a trap fight because Usyk is a special fighter. I just didn't know if what he was great at, him being great at cruiserweight, was going to translate to heavyweight, because it's been done very seldom in the past. I mean, Evander Holyfield, but the success rate going from cruiserweight to heavyweight is not great. It's just not great. Cruiserweights haven't had success going from cruiserweight to heavyweight and having success in the heavyweight division. Here's a stat for you that is amazing to me, and it speaks to the aggressiveness of Usyk in his career and his willingness to be aggressive and try to do great things. He's competed at cruiserweight and heavyweight. Each division has 5 major belts if we throw in the ring. Usyk now has won 8 of the 10 major belts in those 2 divisions in under 20 fights. Incredible. In under 20 fights. 8 of the 10 major belts. And in the next fight, he wants the next 2. Whether it be an immediate rematch or if he'll get the undisputed fight, the Wilder versus Fury win, that's just an incredible feat. And if he becomes undisputed in cruiserweight and heavyweight, my goodness, he's already punched his ticket to the Hall of Fame, in my opinion, in 19 fights. But we have to start talking about other things if he becomes undisputed at cruiser and heavyweight. What makes Usyk special? What makes him special? He's a complex fighter. He can give you many different looks. He's a free fighter, and we saw that against Joshua. What was the difference? The main difference between Usyk and Joshua is that Joshua was robotic, you saw it, and Usyk used his free style fighting tactics against Joshua. You saw it when he started to land that straight left at will against Joshua, against the bigger Joshua. To land against a bigger fighter like that, a taller fighter, a rangier fighter, you have to be able to find those angles. And how did he find the angle? He was a freer fighter, more athletic fighter, and he was able to get that front right foot on the outside of Joshua's front left foot, find that angle, and start landing that straight left at will. And that unlocked the door for Usyk. But what makes him special? It's that he's a complex fighter. He can give you many different looks. If plan A starts to fail, he can go to plan B, plan C, plan D. Highly intelligent fighter, ring IQ, brains, but stamina. And he showed it in this fight. When you're fighting a heavyweight and you're coming up from cruiserweight, when you're giving up 20 pounds, when you're giving up range, when you're giving up muscle and you're punching up constantly, you have to have the stamina to give these complex looks throughout 12 rounds. Some guys can do it through 4 rounds. Zab Judah used to be able to do it for 4 rounds, front runner. But from 5 to 12, it would go off the rails. A lot of guys are able to be complex, smart, mentally tough fighters, be able to let their hands go for half the fight, but the second half of the fight, it's a crapshoot. Usyk can give you that from 1 to 12. He can give you levels as well, right? So he was more aggressive in, like, say, rounds 1 through 4 and 5, and then Joshua started to come on and give more resistance in those middle rounds and had some success, especially when he started throwing that uppercut to the body against Usyk in round 6. So Usyk let his foot off the gas a little bit, and then he leveled back up. He showed levels. He can throw that change up like Greg Maddox. So he shows you levels as well in the stamina, like I said, to be able to do that at heavyweight. What he was able to accomplish at cruiserweight, to bring it up to heavyweight, and to beat probably the second best heavyweight in the world behind Tyson Fury at the moment when he fought Anthony Joshua, under the big lights, incredible. Incredible. To hold that composure fighting in front of 70,000 fans, to be mentally tough enough when a guy starts to show resistance and the crowd is against you, 70,000 fans are against you. And that's another thing as far as Usyk goes. He's done all this going on enemy territory. And as American fans, as American fighters, we're sort of spoiled in that our fighters can stay here, fight mostly at home, close to home. Some of these guys in other parts of the world, like Usyk out of Ukraine, he's pretty much won every major title going on the road. He's the road warrior. So he's accomplished winning 8 of the major belts out of 10 major belts in the 2 divisions he's competed with on the road as the road warrior. I mean, just incredible what this guy has accomplished in his career. And I can't say it enough, man. Just a highly complex fighter. And I was in awe of the performance. I had it 117, 111. I just think he did a great job coming out strong. I was worried about him coming out reluctant, starting off a bit slow against a bigger guy, not getting his footing against a bigger crowd. But he came out and he had Anthony Joshua on his heels from the beginning. And Anthony Joshua just never got his footing in the fight. Usyk just wouldn't allow it. He wouldn't allow it. Even those moments in the middle rounds where Joshua had his moments and he was sitting on his punches more and fighting more off of his front foot, letting his hands go a little more, going to the body, Usyk made the proper adjustments. When Joshua started to go to the body, he dropped his hands a little bit. Like I said, came off the gas a little bit. In the next round, he leveled back up. All right, and Joshua just wasn't able to keep up with that pace of Usyk, the freer fighter in there with better stamina. Just a great performance altogether. The way he was able to sit on his punches, not fight in fear against the bigger guy, and even in the 12th round, even in the last seconds of the 12th round, he was trying to stop Joshua. All right, and he was up on the scorecards. Dominated the fight, in my opinion. I had a 117, 111. I felt he won 9 rounds, but I feel like 118, 110 Usyk to 115, 113 Usyk is anywhere in there is fair game, in my opinion. I did feel like there were some swing rounds that I gave to Usyk, but 9 rounds to 3 is how I had it. And just a stellar, brilliant performance by a brilliant fighter. And if this guy becomes undisputed at heavyweight after becoming undisputed at cruiserweight, man, look out. Look out. We got to start talking about other things as far as Usyk. What a truly special fighter we got. And enjoy it. Enjoy it. I know boxing fans are jaded. Enjoy what this guy is giving you. Special. God bless.